Hi everyone, this is channel Reddit Confessions. This is going to be a very long story, so I hope you've got your soda and popcorn. I also hope it's in the right subreddit. For this story the cast will be me, obvious brother, Mark half-brother, Sam half-sister, Alicia mum, all fake names for obvious reasons. Disclaimer: full reasons so you don't have to read my entire life story. There will be time skips throughout the story. Some of it won't make perfect sense, and there may be more questions after it's done. But I'm condensing this down to the essential events and the closure I reached. The long part is the backstory. Long backstory. My mom was the kind of parent who never truly knew how to nurture. When I was 2, my baby brother, Mark, was born. Like most toddlers, I didn't take it well and acted out. Over time, though, with guidance from my grandfather and grandmother, I learned how important it was to care for others. I changed my behavior and grew to love my brother deeply, doing what I could to help. Unfortunately, that didn't matter much. My mother more or less handed me off to be raised by my grandparents. She saw me as a difficult child. In her eyes, her newborn was the bright new star, and I was no longer worth her attention. Let's fast forward. My mum now had 4 kids, Mark and me from her first marriage, and Sam and Alicia with her second husband. At this point, I was about 13, Mark was 11, Alicia was a toddler, and Sam was a newborn. My parents were divorced, and my mum had remarried. At this stage, I was hitting adolescence and beginning to form my own thoughts. My stepfather's approach to discipline was aggressive. Anytime I showed independence or questioned anything, I was punished physically. Sometimes it happened right in front of my mom. She said nothing. This planted the first seed of the resentment that would grow over time. But at 13, after having gone through a head injury from a bookshelf falling on me at 11, I had no real concept of how that feeling would manifest. I just knew I had to wait. Mum's mistake 1 was made. My mum and stepfather rarely took on household responsibilities themselves. They waited until weekends, when my grandparents were away, to task us with everything. I understood doing chores, but we were doing things far beyond normal. At 10 or 11, I was being told to climb on the roof to clean gutters or climb trees to trim branches. That wasn't age appropriate, and it certainly wasn't safe. Time skip to age 14. My mother asked Mark and me to watch over Alicia, who was around 2 years old. My stepdad was playing video games and wouldn't let us play unless he was present. I remember suddenly realizing, "Where is Alicia?" And the panic hit. Mark and I ran through the house searching. My stepdad went to check the bedroom where Mum was resting with baby Sam. My dad, who was visiting at the time, was cooking in the kitchen. The chaos startled him so much that he accidentally burned his hand on the stovetop. Then he joined the search. We looked everywhere except the one place we should have checked first, the pool. Then came the scream from outside. We rushed out and saw Alicia lying unresponsive on the deck. My mum and stepdad were performing CPR. My father quickly pulled us inside while the ambulance was called. Sadly, Alicia didn't make it. That night, doctors made the call to end life support. Mum's mistake too was made. Mark and I were heartbroken. As children, we blamed ourselves. Our grandparents reassured us it wasn't our fault, that we were just kids, and we did what we could. A week later, Child Protective Services stepped in. My father filed for custody, arguing that my mother was unfit, and he won temporarily. But my grandparents intervened, believing Mum could still be a capable parent. Ultimately, she regained custody. Time skip. I'm 18 now and finishing high school, ready to begin my life. Mark, 15, had been injured in a fight and had surgery involving pins and screws in his hand. He was on strong pain medication, which my mum was supposed to manage. She didn't. One day, my grandfather picked me up from school. He had a heavy look on his face. As we walked up to the house, paramedics were wheeling out a stretcher with a body bag. Mark had died from an accidental overdose. He was 15. That was the last straw. The family split, my dad's side versus my mother's side. My mom still had my grandparents in her corner. I went fully to my dad's side. He argued, rightfully, that if my mom had been more responsible, Mark would still be alive. Sam was removed from her custody and placed into foster care. I never saw him again. With Mark gone and Sam taken away, I was now an only child. I had lost everything. And that's when I decided, if she had taken everything from me, I would ensure she never took anything from anyone again. The first revenge, my grandfather had always been my rock, my best friend. He taught me life skills, supported me, and showed me what a parent should be. But he was also too kind, and my mum took advantage of that. My grandmother, by this point, had become withdrawn and simply agreed with him on everything. So, every time my mum tried to manipulate a situation, I would challenge her. I didn't win those battles, but I saw that constant pushback chipped away at her. She broke down in tears multiple times. I never laid a hand on her, I didn't have to. Then, one day, she injured her back badly at work. Herniated discs. Serious pain. I'll be honest, I smiled when I heard the news. Around this time, my stepdad had been imprisoned for doctor shopping, illegally trying to get prescriptions. My mom wanted a divorce. When she returned from the hospital, I started quietly hiding her medications. Sometimes I even threw them away. I wanted her to feel discomfort. It was my way of expressing what I couldn't say out loud. A few months later, she was in a car accident. Authorities discovered she had taken prescription meds before driving. She was charged with a DUI and spent 6 months in jail. That's when I knew the long game was working. The second revenge, years passed. She was released from jail. I had taken a gap year before college, and my grandparents allowed me to stay with them as long as I worked and enrolled in school. During that time, I had moved all of her possessions into storage. I took her old bedroom as mine, turned my old one into a gaming room, and she was left to sleep on the couch. Her back, already injured, made it agonizing. The metal bars in the couch frame only worsened it. This was the next phase, slow, constant discomfort. The third revenge, time skip again. We moved back into the old family home. Her back problems worsened. Through a series of bad choices, she convinced my grandparents to begin helping her obtain medications illegally. She made the connections, and they gave her the money. I begged them to stop. It was illegal. It could ruin all of them. My grandfather eventually agreed. My grandmother, however, gave in to guilt and enabled her daughter. I wanted nothing to do with it. I sent an anonymous tip to local authorities. Sadly, nothing came of it. That attempt failed. Still, I kept sabotaging her supply quietly. Childish, maybe, but sometimes you need a little childish persistence to get your message across. The final revenge, I'm 31 now. It's been 13 long years since I lost my brother. My grandfather passed away last year. I had been saving money for years' jobs, inheritances, or planning for a better future. I visited my grandmother. She was frail. Her dog had passed away, and she was preparing to move into assisted living. My mum approached me and asked, "Will you take care of me when Grandma is gone? It's your duty as my son." She was broke. She had burned through her inheritance. Everything else was coming to me. I looked her in the eye and said, "You will receive nothing from me. Grandma's going to a care home. In moving out of state, you destroyed my life, my childhood, and the people I loved. You will not be part of my future." She broke down crying. My grandmother was speechless. It was over. Now, I'm starting a new life, with a great job, a fresh home, and someone I love deeply. To anyone with siblings, love them. Cherish them. Time is short. Being an older brother was the happiest time in my life. And losing them broke something in me. I still cry over it. But I survived. Thank you for reading. Edit. Sam and Alicia are my half-siblings, same mom, different dad, not step-siblings. Editive. Thank you for all the support, advice, and kind words in the comments. It means more than you know.